Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August the 12th. Last night, Carolyn and I went to our kids' place in Midwest City. We haven't seen them in a while, and I've got to tell you, our two grandchildren who live there are just entirely too cute to stay away from. Actually, all of our grandchildren are too cute to stay away from, but the others live farther away. But we had this opportunity that we haven't had in quite a while, so we went to see them. The kids, especially the little kids, really like Chick-fil-A. So we decided that we would stop at Chick-fil-A and get our meal before we arrived at their house. If you've ever been to Chick-fil-A, you know about their amazing customer service. The employees are well trained and ultimately polite. It's really refreshing to be around that kind of kindness and attention when you go to a business. Chick-fil-A demonstrates civility. And then later in the evening, as we left our kids' house, we decided to go through a Sonic drive-through to get something to drink for the drive home. And there too, we were treated with kindness and courtesy. I think I'm seeing this in a lot of businesses right now. People appreciate being treated well. And I think it's the civility of Chick-fil-A that is spreading to other businesses. It's a business model that works because people like being treated with respect. Carolyn and I talked about how wonderful it would be if civility caught on in the whole of the society right now. How nice it would be if people treated people everywhere the way people are treated in these businesses. What if civility spread across the nation? Well, the truth is we could address problems that exist in much more constructive ways. And many of the problems that we see in the streets today would not even exist at all because people would be more concerned about how they treat each other. Even things like traffic stops, if I get pulled over because I go too fast, those situations would go better because both sides would act with civility toward the other. Even the big questions, the big decisions that have to be made in our nation right now, those would be handled better because of the presence of civility. Imagine Congress practicing civility toward each other. Imagine the president being civil in his tweets. Imagine news sources acting with civility toward the president. And then, what if civility broke out in all of our homes? Husbands always treating their wives with the kindness and respect that we see at Chick-fil-A. Can you imagine? What if wives were treating their husbands with the respect that builds the relationship rather than tearing it down? This actually is an instruction for wives in the book of Ephesians. What if children were being taught civility and responsibility with the same fervor that we teach them how to throw a ball or receive a pass? What if parents were demonstrating civility in the way that they speak to each other and in the way that they interact with strangers? Can you imagine how that would be? Picture parents showing their own children civility in the way that they speak to them. If civility broke out in our businesses, in our homes, and in our daily conversations with friends, the world would be a different place. I'm reminded of what Peter wrote about. He was actually addressing what eternity was going to be about when he said, "But according to his promise, we are looking for new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells." Isn't that a beautiful thought? Wouldn't we all want to live in a place where the righteousness of God dwells, where there was utter civility between all people? Well, actually, I'm planning on living in that place, and I hope that you are too. With so much hate in the world today, with so much bitterness in the conversations that we hear today, this idea becomes more and more attractive. Isn't it this kind of an idea that Paul was writing about when he wrote to the Philippians? And he was talking to them about the Christian mind and how our minds should be functioning. When he wrote this, he said, "Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence, if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things. The things you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you." Is that not the utter practice of civility among people? So it's a wonderful thought. These thoughts kind of bounced around in my head as we were driving home last night. And so as we drove into Clinton, I had these wonderful thoughts in my mind, and I was wondering how we might encourage the spread of civility. And then, about a block from our house, out of the darkness, someone threw an egg and hit the side of our car. So much for civility. We have a lot of work to do. I hope you have a day filled with civility. Bye.